Wants to know what happened at the BET Awards. Big commotion backstage. You and Chris Brown.
That's a whole lot of tape. That's a lot of tape.
You mean a whole lot of cheese between?
A whole lot of tape, a whole lot of haters, man.
Y'all, the internet didn't just wake up that night. It erupted at exactly 1:47 a.m. Stefon Diggs went live with no warning, no build-up, no teaser post. The notification flashed across thousands of phones at the same time. Live now. Number. Emojis, no caption. Just his name. When people joined, the room felt heavy. Dim lighting, no music playing in the background. No jokes, no dramatic intro. Just a man staring into a camera like he hadn't slept in days. His eyes were red, not from anger exactly, but from exhaustion. The kind that comes from reading things about yourself that you can't unsee. By then, the internet had already been on fire for hours. Blurry screenshots were circulating. Alleged DNA reports were spreading in group chats. Anonymous accounts were posting claims that sounded detailed enough to feel real. And 3 names were being dragged into the center of it all: Cardi B, Chris Brown, and Stefon. No confirmed statements. No verified documents. Just speculation moving faster than anyone could control. On the live, Stefon didn't accuse anyone. He didn't shout. He didn't even mention names. That's what made it more intense. His voice was steady but tired. He said fake stories were destroying real people. He said fake screenshots were poisoning his peace. He said lies were spreading faster than truth ever could. And the comments? They exploded. People were already posting side-by-side comparisons of old videos. Old concert footage of Cardi and Chris laughing together on stage years ago suddenly became evidence. Interview clips were dissected frame by frame. Harmless smiles were slowed down. Eye contact was zoomed in on. Background timestamps were analyzed like forensic proof. That's how rumors grow, quietly at first. Then all at once. Meanwhile, Cardi's page had gone strangely quiet. No new selfies, no jokes. Just a few late-night tweets posted hours earlier about betrayal and trust. Fans replayed those words again and again, trying to connect dots that might never have been connected. Her silence didn't calm anything down. It amplified it, because silence online is louder than screaming. Then came another ripple. A short reaction surfaced from Offset. Just a few vague words. Nothing direct, nothing specific. But enough to send timelines into chaos. No context, no explanation. And on the internet, context is optional. Emotion is enough within minutes. Hashtags were everywhere. Some people defended Cardi fiercely, calling the rumors a coordinated attack. Some stood behind Stefon, saying no one goes live looking that shaken unless something serious happened. Others dragged Chris into a narrative he hadn't even spoken about. Old rumors from years ago were resurrected and stitched into new theories. Deepfake. Audio clips started trending. Edited screenshots were passed around as proof. Accounts created that same night claimed to have inside information. And suddenly, truth didn't matter anymore. People weren't searching for facts. They were searching for drama. Back on the live, Stefon stayed calm. Careful with every word, like someone walking through a minefield. The chat kept begging him to explain, to confirm, to deny, to expose. They wanted tears. They wanted rage. They wanted a villain. He gave them none. He just looked tired. That tiredness hit harder than any outburst would have. Because exhaustion feels real, it's harder to fake. And fans began projecting their own conclusions onto his silence. Some said he looked betrayed. Others said he looked overwhelmed by lies. Everyone saw something different, because everyone was already choosing a side. Meanwhile, no official statements came from anyone involved. Not Cardi, not Chris, not Stefon beyond that live. Again, just silence, and silence creates space. Space for imagination, space for conspiracy, space for strangers to build timelines out of guesswork and emotion. People started digging into old travel photos, old interviews, old lyrics, old friendships. They tried to construct a narrative from fragments that had never meant anything before. Some accounts insisted there was a real DNA report. Others broke down the fonts and formatting, claiming it was clearly fake. Legal experts on TikTok weighed in. Body language analysts on YouTube slowed down clips. Podcast hosts released emergency episodes dissecting a situation no one could confirm. One commentator said something chilling. When a rumor is emotional enough, proof becomes optional. That line echoed everywhere. Late into the stream, Stefon paused. He looked down, took a breath like it physically hurt. Then he said, "Respect families. Stop spreading lies." And just like that, the live ended. No goodbye. No explanation. Just darkness. That's when the internet truly lost control. Clips of the live were reposted with dramatic music. Quotes were taken out of context and turned into headlines. Anonymous pages claimed lawyers were already involved. Some said brands were quietly watching before deciding whether to distance themselves. Old locker room footage resurfaced. Sideline photos were zoomed into pixel by pixel. People claimed they could see secrets in his eyes, pain in his posture, guilt, betrayal, evidence where none had existed before. By sunrise, fake lab documents were everywhere. Numbers circled in red, dates highlighted, names blurred just enough to feel secretive. Some people compared document templates to real medical forms and called them frauds. Others swore they looked legitimate. Nobody could prove anything, but nobody stopped sharing them. Either. Because fear spreads faster than truth ever could. Cardi's earlier tweets about loyalty and trust were reposted thousands of times, fans said. Her words sounded heavier now, like hidden confessions. Others argued she was being unfairly targeted. That powerful women are often dragged into chaos first and facts later. Chris remained silent too. And that silence was interpreted 100 different ways. Guilt, strategy, legal advice, indifference. Every possibility was projected onto him. Without a single confirmed detail, offsets earlier, comment kept resurfacing in edited videos with slow-motion zooms and dramatic background music. People debated what he meant, what he knew, whether it was connected at all. Entire theories were built from one vague sentence. At some point, the scandal stopped belonging to the people involved. It belonged to the internet. Comment sections turned into battlegrounds. Strangers argued like they were personally betrayed. Some said Stefon deserved better. Some said Cardi was being framed. Some said Chris had a history that made the rumors feel believable, even without evidence. And that's the dangerous part. When past narratives get stitched onto present rumors, everything feels possible. Deepfake audio clips added another layer of chaos, voices that sounded real, conversations that felt intimate. Experts warned how easy it is to manipulate audio now. But online, if something feels real, that's often enough. People weren't just watching a story unfold. They were participating in it. They were editing it, sharing it, adding to it, turning human beings into characters in a drama that might not even exist. Some fans stepped back and asked a simple question. What if it's all fake? What if someone fabricated everything for attention? What if a blurry screenshot destroyed months of peace for nothing? Others responded with an equally powerful question. What if there's some truth buried inside all this noise? And that's how uncertainty keeps a scandal alive. No confirmation, no denial, just endless interpretation. By midday, the situation had reached every corner of social media. Reaction channels uploaded breakdowns. Podcast clips dissected body language. Think pieces were written about fame, loyalty, and how quickly public perception can shift overnight, because that's what this really exposed. Not just a rumor. But how fragile public narratives are. One night, one live stream, a few tweets, handful of fake screenshots. And suddenly, millions of people were convinced something life-shattering had happened, without a single verified fact. Maybe the screenshots were edited. Maybe the alleged report never existed. Maybe someone wanted clout. Maybe the entire storm was built on smoke. Or maybe something real was twisted into something cruel. No one outside that circle knows. But what is certain is this. That night proved how fast a love story, or even just a public association, can be turned into a crime scene in the eyes of the internet. Without proof, without confirmation, without mercy. As phones kept lighting up across time zones, 3 names burned across timelines while strangers argued about relationships they had never been part of. And somewhere in the middle of it all, real people were reading real comments about their real lives. When the internet smells heartbreak, it hunts for villains. And when it doesn't find one fast enough, it creates one. Maybe in a few days, the rumors will fade. Maybe a statement will come. Maybe nothing happened at all. But the damage of that night, the exhaustion on Stefon's face, The silence on Cardi's page, the speculations surrounding Chris, showed something deeper. In the digital age, truth doesn't travel alone. It competes with spectacle, and spectacle almost always wins.